everybody, it's Melbell here. Okay, so I'm gonna try and give this recording thing a go. I've already tried a couple of times and messed up because I didn't have audio. I think I've fixed that problem now. I'm gonna go ahead and just assume I've fixed that problem. I think I just killed my pumpkin. No, I didn't. Okay, so this is my first time ever recording any game that I've played. I don't typically consider myself much of a gamer. Just play a few things. This is Minecraft, if you don't know. I'm sure everybody knows. I am currently playing on a server. This is gonna not be too exciting of a video because I'm just gonna run around and kind of talk about some stuff. I am playing on a Skyblock server. It's impulseSV.com and Epic Skyblock. So basically it starts you off with kind of a bigger island. You can see it in my neighbor here. I'll run over here. It starts you off with sort of, it's not just a regular plain old Skyblock map. It starts you off with more resources. It does not start you off with that platform. He built that, or she built that. So I have flattened out my island and collected all of the resources that came with it and got my little farming area set up. Got a few little farms going here. I did have a lot more. There's a lot of lag. Oh, that wasn't lag. I just didn't have it. Okay. I did have it a lot more set up than this, but they had to do a server reset, which sucks, but we were having a lot of problems with like restarts and rollbacks, and so I guess all in all it was for the best. Not that my island was terribly impressive before that, but it was a little bit better. So this is basically me just kind of getting restarted here. Very small. I'm gonna show you around a little bit here. I've only played on this server for maybe about a month. And only a few days since the reset, maybe 3 or 4 days. I haven't done much in that time, as you can see. But I was playing on a different server. It was just really buggy and glitchy, and it claimed to be 1.8. It had some of the 1.8 blocks, but things were just broken. Villagers didn't trade right. It would crash your game when you would try and trade with villagers, and anvils just sporadically worked. Sometimes your item would repair, and sometimes it just would take your experience and not repair your item. Oh, there's a little bit of lag there. So I had a fairly impressive island. It wasn't anything fancy. I'm not a very aesthetic builder. I like to build farms and like smaller redstone kind of stuff. Doesn't usually look very pretty when I'm done, and I'm okay with that. Whatever, it is what it is. Not extremely creative. So I found this server, and while there are a few issues, and it does really suck that they just reset. They also had to reset a couple of months ago. I think that was before I played on here. But that does worry me. Did I plant 2 rows of potatoes? I did. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. It does worry me that they've had to reset a couple of times recently, and I am scared that they're gonna have to reset again. So I kind of sit here and think, hopefully I'm not doing this work for nothing. But if they do, they do. The old server I was on never reset while I was playing on it for several months, but also everything was broken and sucked. So I guess that's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes it's gonna reset. The only good thing about it is that everybody reset. Everybody had to start over from scratch. There are a few people who have made quite a lot more progress than me. Many people have made a lot more progress than me. That's fine, whatever. I'm currently playing more Minecraft these days than normally I would be able to. My husband and I were in a pretty bad car wreck several months ago, and I got beat up pretty bad. Nothing permanent. Tore up my leg pretty bad. And because of that, I had to have a couple of surgeries and spend a lot of time in the hospital. And, excuse me, you're going to have to listen to my cough because I've recorded 2 videos before this one with no audio because this software apparently doesn't like my hotkeys, and when I turned my microphone off to cough, it didn't turn it back on. So the bulk of my videos didn't have any sound at all. So you're just going to have to listen to my little cough here. Anyway, I was in hospital and rehab, like nursing home kind of rehab facilities for a long time, and I had to end up quitting my job. So I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, watching a lot of TV, basically just being a bum. Now I am back at home, but I am doing in-home physical therapy and still not working. I don't know if I'm going to go back to work or if I'm going to try and find something to do around here to make a little bit of extra money. On this server, back to business here. On this server, you can buy ranks. So you can donate money, and basically you're buying a server rank. You'll see scrolling through the chat every now and then, there's a couple there that say default. Right now I am a default. You'll see some different ranks, VIP, Enhanced, Elite, Skylord, Overlord, Immortal, whatever all of them are. You can buy different ones for real life, actual money. I have not done that yet. I do plan on doing that at some point if I continue to play on this server. But I want to give it a couple of months before I throw too much money at it, because if they do have a problem where they're resetting the server every other month, I'm not going to stay here and keep rebuilding everything from scratch every other month. So I want to give it a little bit more time. The one thing I have done is I do sell some commands, sort of a la carte, I guess. You can buy some commands specifically. I did buy the spawn mob command, so I can spawn mobs. So these villagers, I spawn those in. Basically, I can do like spawn mob cow, and the cow appears wherever I'm looking, and I can kill it, and it can outrun me apparently. That's a little embarrassing, but anyway. So I can spawn certain mobs. It's not every mob. As you might be able to tell, I'm a little OCD about my inventory, so I keep running back and forth and putting stuff in chests. Anyway, so let's just do a little quick island tour. I'm tired of making this video. This will be my 3rd time trying to do this. Hopefully the 3rd time is a charm and we'll have audio. The other 2, the video was fine. All that was great, but the first one had audio every now and then, and the second one had no audio at all. My bad. I recorded a 20-minute video without checking that my microphone was enabled. But again, I'm very new to all of this, and in my defense, I pushed the button to enable my microphone. It just didn't work. And the recording software running in the background is what controls that. So it didn't show me, oh, hey, your microphone is muted. There was a muted microphone icon, but I can't see it from here. So anyway, lesson learned. I just am not going to worry with muting my microphone anymore. If I have to cough, maybe I can edit it out. I don't know, whatever. So first of all, this is my little farming area. I got my villager trading area. I'll probably end up killing all of them because it's easier than moving them. And I don't really want them to stay here forever. Maybe not. So I've got the server has an idle timeout of 15 minutes, but they do allow AFK fountains. So if you don't know, basically, if you see that's my husband's character. I keep him logged in. I'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, if you don't know about AFK fountains, it's just this little super easy to build little contraption. and it basically walks you around in a circle all day long. As long as you're connected, you're walking in a circle. So the server doesn't know that that's not Axley walking around. So it thinks that he's here playing. So it doesn't boot him because he's technically not idle. He's walking around. There are a lot of servers who have AFK idle timeouts don't allow these because it's essentially a bypass for their idle timeout. But the server doesn't care. They're cool with it. They allow them. So basically, you can get keys, and I have one of those in my inventory. You can get keys by voting, and you can vote 5 times a day, and you get a vote key, and that will open this chest here. And you can, these are your optional rewards. So I right click on that chest with my key, it opens, and I get one of these rewards for each key. Now, in addition to the vote crate, they have a party crate. If you look on the right hand side of the screen where it shows my money and the players online and my island level, there's also one in there called key votes. Right now it says 45. Every time that reaches 0, everybody who's online at the time gets one of these party keys, and that opens this chest. And you get one of these rewards. So I'll show you that. So I got 48 cobblestone. Not that great, but actually right now I need lots of cobblestone because I'm filling out my island. So every time that key votes, which is now at 41, reaches 0, everybody who's online, whether they've voted or not, gets one of those party keys. So that is why I always AFK as much as I can to get as many resources for free as I can. And I've got my husband's account in here walking around in circles, and I use his keys as well to get items because he does not play this server. So if he ever wanted to create an island, obviously he would use those keys, but he doesn't play this server. He doesn't play much Minecraft at all right now anyway. So I know this is pretty boring. Speaking of the husband, I do on doing a Skygrind, an adventure map called Skygrind with him. I don't know when we're going to start that, but I do want to play that with him. That should prove to be much more interesting than just walking around watching me farm all day long. And eventually I'll record, like if I do big builds or anything like that, I'll record some of that stuff too. This is basically just me trying to get a feel for the recording software and what kind of settings I should use and how it's going to sound. I don't have a headset right now, so hopefully there's not a whole bunch of echo or background noise. The microphone I'm using is pretty decent. It wasn't a real expensive brand or anything. It's just like a desktop microphone. I actually have it clipped to my shirt. So it's nothing too fancy, but it's not terrible. When I did have audio in my first video, it wasn't terrible. But basically this video is just me trying to get a feel for how all of this works and if I even am enjoying it or care to do it, if I can talk this long, which apparently I don't have too much of a problem with because I'm yapping it up right now. Anyway, so my island. So this is my little farming area, my AFK fountain. I've got some chests and storage kind of all over the place. Infinite water source, down here, I've got a lower platform. This will be where eventually there's a server shop, but you can also do player shops. So eventually I will build this out down here, and my shop will be down here. My villagers might end up being down here too. Haven't decided yet. But I don't even have my player warp set up yet. So I haven't even started rebuilding my shop since the server reset. I'm just still trying to get all the resources and stuff that I want to get started. So anyway, over here, I've got a little area where I can spawn mobs. So I spawn them in there, kill them in there, and then, as you can see, I've been doing wither skeletons. I've got lots of skulls that I'll be able to sell in my player shop. People use those for banners. Lots of bone meal that I'll be able to use in my micro farm that I've built over here that I'm not currently using. This is a design that I found online. I can't remember who makes it. I will find it and link the video. But basically, you've got your tilled dirt, and you've got 3 dispensers with bone meal, and you switch it on. You switch it on, and then you stand in here, and as you plant, the dispensers fire bone meal. And the way this one harvests, a lot of them you'll see that this dirt block will be on a sticky piston. It'll go up and down, and that'll harvest it. This one actually uses lighting updates. Basically, it is too dark in there for a planted crop to stay planted. They'll pop. So, okay, apparently it was already on, and I turned it off. I don't know. Anyway, there's no bone meal in it now, so it's not doing anything right now. But that's how that works. So you just basically turn it on and stand here. The bone meal fires, and you would hold down your wheat or your carrot or your potato, and it will shoot bone meal at it and spit out grown crops for you. It's a little wonky on a server, and it uses a ton of bone meal, just a ton of bone meal. So it's a little bit wonky on a server. Sometimes the lag will mess it up, but it's still pretty good. Excuse me. And then over here, I've got a very small little cobblestone generator. This will not be my final cobblestone generator. It'll be bigger, a little bit more automatic, where, a little bit more lossless, but this is just a basic starter one. I'm thinking about actually moving to a different island because, as you can see, I have a neighbor up there, and they are super close. Right now, my island is locked, but they can actually drop down and run around here. They can't do anything to my island. They can't break any blocks or place any blocks. They can't do anything. The only thing that you can do on somebody else's island is spawn mobs that I know of. If they have AFK farms, you can stand and collect their items depending on how they're transported. Like if they're transported in water streams. So if I throw something down, they can pick it up. And they can in turn throw down entities. I keep coming back from AFKs and finding like random things in my inventory. So I know they've been coming over here and throwing stuff down at my feet, which is not that big of a deal. Really doesn't matter. It just annoys me that they can come over here. So right now I've got my island locked. I don't like having neighbors that close. I've got another one that has pillared over on the other side. You can't see it from here because it doesn't render, but it just annoys me. I could build big walls, but I like the skylight, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, it's just a random nuisance. I can lock specific players too, so I can actually lock the island owners, and they can't jump onto my island. I can lock them out. But that also means they won't be able to come to my shop someday. But with a server with 900 people on it, that really probably doesn't matter. Anyway, so there's my cobble generator. I've got, as you can see, I still haven't filled out. I have bordered out my island with cobblestone, but I haven't filled it all in. So that's why I wasn't upset about getting cobblestone out of the crate. I need lots of cobble or stone. Basically, my whole island will be a layer of cobble with a layer of spruce wood over it. This is spruce. That way, I don't ever lose any of my wood when I'm digging out these blocks, and it's less fall risk. It takes a lot more blocks because it's 2 layers deep, but it's less of a risk that I'll fall. So over here, I've got, this is where I grow my spruce trees. Nothing fancy. I pillar up with sand. I chop them down. I take down the sand. I replant. So I use basically spruce for everything. The giant ones give a lot of wood, a lot of saplings, and they really grow very, very fast. So a lot of times I don't even bone meal them. I just plant them, walk away for 5-10 minutes, come back, it's grown. This here is an entire chunk with grass. The server allows you to change your biome of your island. Also allows you to change the biome of an individual chunk. So by default, my biome is forest. And I think that's on all the created islands. But as you can see, in this chunk over here, a forest will not freeze water. I made an ice tray. This is a partial chunk. It's just a 9x9 in this chunk. And I made an ice tray and changed this biome for just this chunk to Frozen River. So if you watch my F3 screen here, you can see as I go over here, it goes from Frozen River to forest, back to Frozen River. So that's pretty cool. It allows you to get ice by putting water. So I've got this basic ice tray that I just found on the design for on the wiki. Nothing fancy. You cover up every other source block, and then when you harvest, so that they don't freeze, then when you harvest this ice, those source blocks refill the entire ice tray and it can start freezing again. I'm not going to show that because I don't have a Silk Touch tool on me right now. I only have one, and it's a stone shovel. I'm probably going to be buying the /enchant command. I think I mentioned that. It's hard to remember what I've said and haven't said because I've done this video 3 times now. So, anyway, somebody enchanted a shovel for me to have Silk Touch on day 1 of the reset. They were very kind and did that for free. But anyway, I've got this whole chunk. This is an entire chunk. And I have it all grass so that I can get the different flowers. So I can change the biome just for this chunk and get whatever flowers that, use bone meal and get whatever flowers that biome produces. That'll be handy for a couple of these challenges require you to get all the different colors of wool and stained glass. So there's the wool and then there's the stained glass challenge. And that will come in handy there because the flowers are a good source of most of the dyes. This is just a fishing hole. I've already done the challenge where you have to have the fish, which is here. So I will probably be filling this in as I don't fish in general. It's very boring in Minecraft and the food isn't great, and basically I can get all the steak I want using my spawn mob command or going to the mob farms. This server, that's another thing I like about this server, is they have passive and hostile mob farms. And the best part about the mob farms is that, I'll go over there in a second, but it's really noisy. The hostile mob farms, the mobs can't hurt you. So I can go over there and kill skeletons for days and they can't hurt me. So it's, you know, it's if you need 1 spider eye or 4 arrows, it's a really good place to go to get that, because mob spawning, hostile mob spawn, well, and passive mob spawning is turned, I don't think it's turned off. I have seen skeletons where none should be on my island. But it's turned way down, and it also never gets dark. It's always daylight on the server. I do like that because I don't like fighting mobs. I don't like you know, getting knocked off my island by a skeleton shooting at me, etc. So that is another reason why I did want to buy the spawn mob command, since I can't just pillar up and build a mob spawner. It won't work on this server. So at least it won't work efficiently on this server. So that's another reason I bought the spawn mob command. So anyway, the last thing that I want to talk about before I sign off, I don't really know how long this has gone, but I'm sure it's gone on long enough. So the last thing I want to talk about is my skin. So this is my first time ever attempting to make a skin. And I don't like it. It is not finished. It is a work in progress, but I'm dressed up like a panda. Excuse me. And you know, this is really what I look like. Green eyes, square head. Okay, not really. My eyes are brown. My head is obviously not square. I do have brown hair, and I do love pandas, and I would dress up as a panda if I had a panda costume. So anyway, this is my skin. If I'm going to be broadcasting my own videos and recording my own videos, I wanted to make my own skin. I didn't want somebody to be like, oh, she's using my skin. You know, whatever. I wanted, I mean, this is my own texture pack. It's Dragon Dance, I believe. And I love it. I love, 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 love this texture pack. Dragon Dance by something wolf, I think. I don't know. I'll get a link to that too. Anyway, but I wanted to at least try to do my own skin. So I started from scratch on Need Cool Shoes, which is www.needcoolshoes.com. Like, I need some shoes and I want them to be cool. Needcoolshoes.com. They have a really cool skin editor, and you can either start from any skin you can find. Any person you can put in a Minecraft name, it'll import their skin from the Minecraft skin database, or there's like a gallery of skins that people have shared. So you can start from either of those, or you can just start from blank and start from scratch. So I started from scratch, made my little panda costume. I didn't want just solid black and white. It's kind of hard to see sometimes, so I was going for more of like I don't know, an easier to look at look, and it didn't turn out great. I'm not done yet. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna work on it some more. And the face, I did look at some other examples to sort of get the eyes and mouth. The face isn't terrible. One of the main things is when I'm behind, when I'm looking at it from behind and I look down, you can see my hair is kind of wonky. So there's just a few things I need to work on with it. So that's a work in progress. And basically that is about it. That's really all I've got for today. That's pretty boring, but I do want to start doing that adventure map. The one I want to do is called Skygrind. And if we decide to do that, I'll put a link to it. But I think it'll be fun, or some kind of adventure map with my husband. And we'll be recording those. So that should be a little bit more interesting. I don't really play a lot of other games, so there probably won't be a lot of other things. I was thinking about trying City Skylines. I've got a lot of people I follow are playing that, and that looks really cool. It's just like a Sim City kind of thing. It's not Sim City. It's a different company, a different game, but it's like a city simulator kind of thing. I was thinking about doing that, but maybe not. So anyway, that's really all I've got time for. Hopefully this has audio, and hopefully it hasn't been too terribly boring for you. All right, see you next time.